And if you ever wonder just how effectively that happens, crush some garlic, stand on it, and within minutes, it'll have gone through the bottoms of your feet into your bloodstream, and you can actually smell it on your breath. So that's how the body is actually taking in, whether it's chemicals, if you're using, heaven forbid, those products off the shelves, or whether you're using natural products. So the natural products have a way of detoxing the body the same way as if you're rubbing on your skin something that has chemicals in it. Your body's absorbing that too. And that's why it's so important for us. I mean, I make essential oils a daily ritual from the moment I get up. Everything I use on my body is based on essential oils, so that I'm constantly cleaning myself out.
It's estimated that women use over 17 personal care products every day before they leave the house.
Yep.
So some of us more than that. So when you start adding that cumulative effect, if those are synthetics and you're starting with a toxic morning, or you're starting with something that is detoxing you, that's quite an effect over, 365 days, and multiply that
Scientists have worked out that by the time you eat and breathe everything else, at the end of your day, you've been exposed to 2,000 or more chemicals if you live in a city.
Wow.
That's a lot.
There's so many of them that we can't control if we choose to live in urban areas. So I'm really excited that we provide products where people can choose to be exposed to natural in the areas where they can make that choice.
And pine smelling white. I guess in BC you can walk outside and smell it, but if you're right downtown, you might not be able to.
And if you're going to burn a candle, heaven forbid you're burning a candle that has petrochemicals in it, and that's what's in your air, and then there's the chemicals in the wicks. So
it's not like the Glade chemicals that give me a headache. I can't have them.
There's a reason
around.
they give you a headache.
Yeah.
It's a warning.
Danger. Okay, so we're going to be giving away the Shea Life Treats from the Sudan package that has the Namaste body butter and the Lulu Love fragrance solid, made also with the shea butter, and the beautiful Namaste Blissful Aromatherapy soap. So during the break, if you want to win this prize and come pick it up at CITR, then be the first person to call 604-822-2487. That's 604-UBC-CITR 822-2487. We'll be back in just a moment. CITR 101.9 FM in Vancouver. This is Synchronicity, talk radio for your mind, body, and soul. And I'm your host, Marie. And we are here with Kate and Jean-Pierre, co-founders of Saje Natural Wellness. And thank you to Barbara for calling in. I know there were a couple of lines ringing for that beautiful Shea Life Treats from the Sudan prize. But Barbara was the first to call, so that prize is waiting here for her. So moving on, thank you again for calling in. And thank you, Kate and Jean-Pierre, for making that prize available. And if you do want to purchase any products from Sage and you have a Friends of CITR card, you can get a 10% discount at the West 4th location and the Robson location as well. So we've been talking about pretty much everything here today. The products. Oh, I noticed you opened up the Well-Being. Oh, it's a candle and it has little shells in it, little seashells.
Yeah, it looks particularly beautiful once the wax starts to melt. Easy for me to say. And it looks like little seashells in a little pool of water by the seashore. So it's quite.
And do you have the yoga? Oh, you gotta read what's inside the yoga box.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite.
There's little
We're
quotes
opening up
inside
the little box
demi
of
candles.
So these are the
box has a
smaller
quote.
ones.
Little stocking stuffer ideas.
Beautiful.
And there's the lavender.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's like bright purpley, bluey lavender petals.
Mm-hmm. Now read the quote that's on the inside flap.
Don't just do something. Sit there. Nice. While you're doing yoga or you're meditating, you could burn a candle like that, and it smells good.
We talked about masculine and feminine. Ever since Kate has really embraced her feminine, she got that what she loves to do is all the creative things, and so the packaging has just gotten so much fun. It's a reflection of the amount of laughter that goes on in her office in a day. And
I work with some very fun, creative people, so I have a great time. And you were asking about spiritual practices, and yoga certainly is one that nourishes me. And I notice a big difference in my life when I'm practicing yoga versus the weeks that I think I'm too busy to practice yoga. And it's been really wonderful to bring this line of yoga products that we have in the stores out to Vancouverites.
Beautiful. And you have yoga mat spray, too. Do you still have that, or...
I don't have it right now, but I will be bringing it back in the new year.
Okay.
So right now we have the transition mist, which was formulated so people could literally transition from their busy days into their meditation practice or their yoga practice. And we have yoga soaps and yoga candles and yoga lotion from the same formulation.
Beautiful.
So.
And I'm using Transition Mist as my yoga mat spray until the yoga spray comes back out.
Because all the essential oils have some antibacterial properties, right?
Exactly.
And I wanted to ask you actually about, we were talking about the peppermint halo, which is so great. I used to have a roommate who had crazy migraines, like really, really bad. And she swore by the peppermint halo. She would go through one of those big bottles like quite quickly. But when I was at the party the other night, there was a Sage party at the Robson Street location with African drums and things like that, and the rooibos tea. It was beautiful. And I was talking with Jean-Pierre, and right away he said, I bet that you carry your tension up in your neck and your shoulders, and reached for the peppermint halo. So I wanted to ask you about that. Is that something that is just because everyone kind of carries that around, or is that something that you were able to pick up on or see in me?
Well, I can see it in people because their shoulders aren't sitting quite as low as they could.
Don't worry, Marie, you're not the only person in Vancouver that, that qualifies for.
And on the other hand, I could just guess that in this day and age with people using computers, and in your case this big board, that causes a tension that is not normal. And so almost everyone I know creates a fair bit of tension in their trapezius, and that's that muscle between the shoulder and the neck. And Peppermint Halo is our most popular product, and it's also our most underused product. People buy it for headaches, and they wait for a headache to use it. And they don't realize that if they were to apply it to the back of their neck the moment they feel a little tired, or on their temples when they want to pick me up, or on their trapezius because their muscles are, I say, put it on one side only. And by the time that side is completely relaxed, you'll know how much tension you've been carrying. And then the headaches wouldn't come. And if the headaches come, I get people say, oh yeah, it's helped me a fair bit. And I go, a fair bit? And I said, yeah, most of my headache was gone. And I said, well, then you mostly used it correctly. Because with Peppermint Halo, like your friend with the migraine seems to know, it's a case of you just keep putting it on until the headache's gone. And if it's migraine, you got to put it on the scalp, and you just put on enough that eventually a full migraine can be gone in 10 minutes instead of losing half a day to some drug in a dark room.
Wow. So that's a really good tip on the Peppermint Halo, and it's really good for if you have headaches or for muscle aches. And even like I have a shoulder injury, and sometimes if it's acting up, I'll put it on there.
You can roll it right on that shoulder injury. And at this time of the year, we got to mention our immune remedy, because colds, flus, allergies are all, I say, 1/3. You'll get 1/3 the symptoms, and your cold or your flu will be gone in 1/3 the time if you will use it. Now, I use it as a preventative, and I'm now at about 8 or 9 years since I've had like a full cold or flu, and so I never get on a plane without first applying my immune product.
Good idea. Yeah, I like to take because you're only allowed to take a certain amount of liquids on the planes now, but I like to take some kind of like tea tree or something like that to inhale as well during, like, immune would be good for that, right?
And tea tree's one of the key ingredients in the immune blend. So eucalyptus, tea tree, peppermint, and rosemary are key ingredients. So immune will give you the tea tree you need, but in a blend that's really effective.
Excellent.
And we launched a line of products called Arrived Revive, specifically because we are talking about travel, and I know some people will be going away this holiday. That is to help with jet lag, and also we've put them in bottles that are all approved to be brought on board within your hand luggage. So you can check that out as well if you've got any traveling in your future.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we have just about 1 minute left before I have to wrap up. So is there anything else that you wanted to add before we wrap up the show?
I'll leave the last word to Kate.
Well, I want to thank you for having us on the show, Marie. You've been a wonderful host, and I want to extend my best holiday wishes to everyone out there in Vancouver and beyond that's listening, and we hope that you'll come by and help us, help the women of the South Sudan, extend our reach this Christmas. We'd love to come in and help you take care of some of the people on your shopping list, your loved ones and friends, with products that are going to help them feel better.